I got this thing on the wrong side. Hey, Tammy. I need to turn on my lights. Hold on. Like, why do I look like I'm in shadows? So, Tammy, we're going to see if people show up because, you know, this is my little baby channel that I don't do anything on. Absolutely nothing on. Hey, Tammy. Hold on, let me put some lip balm on. Ooh, this is totally open. Okay. So we'll see if anybody shows up. You know, since this is like something new and I don't normally use this channel. I don't use it. So you found me. Hey. You found me. So we're gonna see if we're gonna see if anybody comes on because I mean you see how many subscribers I have. You see how many I mean I don't do anything with this channel. This channel already really I don't do anything on this channel. I mean like absolutely nothing. I don't post on here hardly ever. Um I've never promoted this channel per se. It's just been here. It's just been this little tiny little thing going on. Hell, I was surprised I had over 100 subscribers. I don't know who they are, but thank you for subscribing. I got stuff with thousands of views I didn't even know about. That's what's sad. You know, it's like, oh wow, I've got views. Because I really do not use this channel. Um, I feel like let me get my iPad. I'll be right back. Because it's probably gonna be you and me talking. It's probably just gonna be you and I, Tammy. So, um, right. This is like my very first live on Aging Gorgeously. Because I think my very first live on Aging Gorgeously, there was exactly one person on there too. You know, it was like I was all alone talking to myself. It was like doing a video, but I thought I was being live. The thing is over here, and that's what's gonna happen. So in case anybody watches it later on, um, you know, you were around when the rabbit hole times were coming on, and I'm not a huge person on separating things, but any conversations like this about open, honest conversations about relationships, sexuality, things like that, cannot be on that channel for the purposes of monetization and because some of my students have found me. Hi Denise, how are you? Some of my students have found that channel. So I just don't need that in my life. Now, you know, when I'm LuuLuu and I'm living my best life. Hi Eartha, without having to be without, you know, working and it's all about YouTube, maybe I will, but even then because I know young people find that channel. This one is okay because the stuff that's on here is so, you know, no one's looking at it, so it doesn't pop up. Because they found me because of the HIV video. I found out how they found me. One student found me because of the HIV video. So, you know, at this point, I just can't have them looking at stuff. You know, I just can't have them looking at stuff. So anyway, how are you ladies? So let's talk about what this channel is and will be. You know, Aging Gorgeously just came up recently doing that kind of thing, whereas the Harlots has been around for much longer. So from a business sense, um, um, this has been around much longer. That's where my writings have been, things like that. So that's where the harlot has come in. Whereas this, so let me explain to you what the harlot is and what it means and everything. And why I said on harlots, goddesses, and LuuLuu. First off, let's just talk about the word harlot. You know, because people will be, oh my God, a harlot, oh my Lord. Um, the original um, definition of harlot was they were priestesses of Ishtar, who was the goddess of sexuality, and sensuality and home and things in um, what am I trying to say? In Samaria. So she was a joyful goddess, and so harlots were priestesses of sexuality. This was before predates Christianity and everything, and so you have to remember that Christianity, one of the things that Christianity and Judaism and the big triad of, you know, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are very much very sexually repressive, and so one of the things, of course, is that harlots had to be, you know, whores. So the name of harlots changed from being a priestess to a whore, with the change of guard in religion. And that's all it was. It was change in guard in religion, which was the more, you know, the more modern religions. Um, what I Yeah, so let me say this. So the way harlot came into my being is because I have, of course, some of you all know, I don't know if all of you all know, I'm a belly dance instructor. And with that, I've spent a lot of time with women, and we have talked a lot about, you know, you get to talking, you know, you're in the class and everything, and women talk, and we dialogue. And a lot of the conversation would turn to things about relationships, about sex, about things like that. And so I have been a sexual being since I was 5. And I'm saying that, yes, I was sexually touched when I was 10, but there was a certain part of me that was a sexual being since I was 5. And this was all on my own, had nothing to do with anything being shown to me or anything. I had sexual dreams. I promise you there was nothing going on, but that was who I was. And I've always felt ashamed of my sexual nature based on what we are taught. We are taught that sexuality is bad, that good girls don't want to do these things, and, you know, only nasty girls do these things. Well, I like doing them all. And so I felt ashamed by it. And so, but what I found throughout my classes and things and talking to women is that so many women do not know, or they are also ashamed of their sexuality. They don't enjoy sex the way they want to because they feel like they can't do these things. And so I started talking about sex on Facebook, and I would say things, you know, like, and then what I did was came up with this persona, and I said it was the harlot, you know, because I was like, oh, this is like the whore in me talking, because I didn't know what harlot really and truly meant. Um, and so that was how I started calling myself the harlot. And then a friend of mine who I used to hang out with at Starbucks, he's very knowledgeable. He's into ancient religions, he's into ancient cultures and things. And we were talking, and then one day he came back to me. He said, "Sister, um, let me tell you what it means for real." And that's when he showed me what harlot was before the dawn of what we now know, think of as a harlot, which is a whore. Um, and so then I started reading up on those things, and then I understood why I identified myself with that without even knowing it, was because you have to understand that ancient religions, ancient cultures, there was more, there sexuality was considered okay, and there was a more accepting of um of sexuality, because make no mistake, homosexuality was around and it was known. And so, hi Veronica. And so it was those things that were happening, that um so 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 it made sense, because I have always had these, just knew about stuff. Yeah, it's been around forever. And it was accepted. Let me say this. It was nothing wrong with it. You know, there was nothing wrong with it. Egypt had, you know, lesbian goddesses and things and homosexual. So they understood that this was a natural part of life, that some people are, some people aren't. And so with that all being said, that's when I understood that it was my past coming forward to me. And so I do believe that I have lived other lives, you know, from a from a spirit place. And I say that because certain knowledge that I have, like just had about sex and sexuality, was not taught to me. My parents were very, you know, they were old, and my parents weren't about, you know, oh, free love and all that kind of stuff. That, and so I didn't grow up like that. I grew up in a very traditional family. My parents did, listen, I can honestly tell you, I know my parents loved each other, but I never ever saw them be affectionate. I never saw them kiss. I never saw anything like that. So my curiosity and my exploration of sex was inherent in me. You know, it really was. It didn't come from anywhere but inside of me, you know. And so when I started seeing that women were so repressed and felt so ashamed and were, you know, unhappy, then I felt the need that it was time for somebody to admit to who we are. And so that's how I wound up writing my little book, The Harlot Speaks, The Elevation from a Whore to a Goddess. Because by reading up on things and understanding them, I understood that who I wasn't a bad person, but it was just who I am. And and if I had been in a different time, I would have been nurtured as a priestess, because that was probably my calling, was to be a priestess of sexuality if I had been in ancient times. And so that's why you see the tattoos on me. That's why, you know, and so I had to become comfortable in it and comfortable with putting it out there. So, because I have given, you know, I've given oral sex classes. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I am very well versed on most things sex. And if I haven't done it, I know some people who have. And I have, you know, with serious knowledge of these subjects. And and here's what I say, is not to say that I expect everybody to be like me. I do not. But what I am is this source, because I'll tell people, if this ain't for you, no, you might not want to try this. So I'm a source of information when it comes down to sexuality. Not to say that anything makes you good or bad. So for me, I don't call women whores. I don't think of any woman or her sexuality as whorish. I think it's hers, because sex is a continuum and there's no one right place for everybody, but what the right place for you, as long as it's with consenting adults. You know, between consenting adults, I say, and everybody is okay with what you're doing, everything is okay. But you also need to be in a place where of trust and things like that. You know, just like I always say, relationships are defined by the people in them. So I'm not here to tell you that your relationship should look like this or your relationship should look like that. We can talk about relationships, and if you want information on things like polyamory, about lifestyle and swinging, yes, I can tell you about them, about all the different alternative relationships. But that's not necessarily for you. You might just be curious about it. You know, based on who you are, you might say, no, that's not for me. And I don't believe in judging anybody. So any conversations, if I sense judgment, I will shut that down, because everybody has a right to speak, and everybody has the right to learn and and explore. And you know, so too many people, let me say this, I know of this from just in general, from talking to people and people telling me, too often, especially in relationships, people want more in their sexual relationships sometimes, but they're afraid to talk about them for fear of what their partner is going to say or what they're going to think about them. And that's what's sad. So for me, I want women to feel like they have the right to the sexual life that they want, but I also want men to get out of this whore mentality. And let me tell you, it's a rough one, because that is what is ingrained in us now. Just like I was saying about the things about innocence, lost, and everything. The automatic assumption is if a woman is sexual, she loses all of her rights. She has no more control of her body. That means if she's a sexual being, then if someone wants to take her sexuality, they have the right to do that because she shouldn't have been like that. And and it smacks on the fact that men are told that it's okay to be savage. It's, because it's our job to be the moral compass. It's our job. Yeah, exactly. It's our job to um, put them in, to be pure. Men can be anything, but we must be pure of heart and pure of things. Hey, Bella, and that's not true, and it's unfair. So, if it was up to me, I would break that double standard right now, because you see so much of it, and you hear so much of it, in general, and until that stops, there will always be an imbalance between men and women, because there's so much about us that has been repressed, whereas they've been given. And I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, I'm just saying this is what has happened. And so, if nothing else, if we as women can be more supportive of each other, and not treat each other so badly because of those things, if I can help you see that it's okay. Because guess what, many of us have those thoughts and want and desires and curiosities, but we're so afraid of them because of the repercussions if people find out. And I am here to tell you that a lot of times those people that you worried about, what they're going to think about you and your sexuality, is probably doing some shit that you ain't never heard of, or they want to do it too. That's just the truth of it, because I talk to a lot of people. So I'm putting it over here because this is where it has to be, because I got to keep these two subject matters separate. Nothing else has to be separate, but this has to be separate. And so that's where. Yes, exactly, Veronica. We all were. I was told a lady don't wear ankle strap shoes. A lady don't do this. A lady don't do that. And guess what? A lot of ladies are so sexually unsatisfied. And let me tell you something. Sex is a biological urge. There's nothing good, or there's nothing bad about sex. Sex can be beautiful. Sex can be, profane. It can be sacred. It can be all kinds of things along the continuum, and it's okay. And you can have all of those things, and it doesn't take away from who you are. But also, because of the fact that we've had all these things put on us and told that we have to be these good girls and stuff, we make bad decisions with men based on sex. Because we have been, this has been ingrained in so many of us. We feel like if we're having sex with somebody, then we got to be in love. We got to have a relationship. And because of that, then we wind up with these fucked up relationships, because we sat around with a man because that's the thing you're supposed to do. Oh, because good girls don't have sex. You got to be in love. Good girl, you got to be about love. Nope, it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't. Listen. If nothing else, if I can't teach women one thing, your heart does not lie between your legs. That's one of the things I always tell women. Your heart don't lie between your legs, but that is the way we're conditioned, because we are conditioned that sex leads to intimacy, leads to love, and it does not. And once you can break that within yourself, then you can look at a man with a clear eye, and then actually make a good decision about them. You can make a clear decision. Because so many times women make bad choices about men based on the sex and how, because listen, if you having sex too many times with a man, that's a relationship. And it is not. It is not. It's just sex. So, I thought they was about to kick me out as usual. Right. No, listen. Some men can be great in bed, but they got nothing else going for them. And because they're good in bed and they know the things to say, women get caught up in them and then get their little heart and their feelings involved when all it was is sex. And the man ain't never said he was giving them anything more than sex. But we are taught, because we have this this belief, because this is what we are told, is that you having sex on a constant with a man, it's got to be love, it's got to be moving toward relationship, it's got to be intimacy, it's got to be love. No, it ain't. It's just got to be some good ass sex. That's all it's got to be. If you gonna have continuous sex with somebody, it better be damn good. That's all I'm saying. It better be damn good. And that's what we have. Really? Okay. See, like, and then let me say, like, my mom, I'm telling you, my mother was very repressed. If you read my book, you'll hear some of the things my mama said to me. And it wasn't her fault. It was what she was taught. And I don't have anything against her. But on that level, but on other levels, my mother was very open. She was very accepting of homosexuality, lesbianism. She didn't care about none of that. Matter of fact, my family does not. My family does not shun our family because of their sexual choices. but but it has to be monogamous. It has to be like that. Now, if you wild like me, oh, okay, no, no, Tweety wild, Tweety wild, and so they talk about me in whispers, but that's fine. But anyway, so that's what's gonna be over here. I don't know how often I'll do it. I'll try maybe once a week, doing them once a week. When I was on Periscope, this is how it started. Me doing these lives. That's why I'm so good at lives, y'all. I used to be on Periscope. Um, right, exactly, Veronica. Um, so depending on the conversation, we will have just relationship conversations, and I do very focused ones. But I also do what I called the red lipstick scope. They used to be called the red lipstick scopes. We would call them the red lipstick lives. And I used to wear red lipstick, and those are specific conversations about sexual subject matter, and it's very raw, and it's very and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And if you think, oh my gosh, she's oh my disgusting, then that's what you're gonna think, because I don't I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't make any apologies for the sexual being that I am. I don't do that anymore. And I don't do that for anybody else. I don't want anybody to feel like they cannot speak because they're going to be judged. Um, so that's real important to me in reference to that. So I'm not going to stay on this one too long because, of course, this is the Harlot side. And until people start coming over, it'll be small, tiny, tiny little things. So I'll probably have to schedule these more because, of course, I don't do this that often. So I'll probably do them like every week or every 10 days just to make sure that I'm putting out this side of the content, because I think besides the fact that we talk about beauty and things, we must talk about the other side of us. And I personally believe that our sexual side is very important, and it needs to be nurtured, and it needs to be told that it's okay to exist, and it doesn't make you a bad person, and it doesn't make you a freak or anything like that. That we are taught, on that. If you subscribe over on this side, I will schedule these, to make sure that I'll schedule them a few days in advance, so at least you can see them or something. That way, that way I can say, okay, I'm gonna be doing this. Of course, if there's any subject matters that you are interested in, feel free to ask me. If you want, if you want me to talk about certain things, you know, it's fine. Once it starts getting more people over here, I'll probably, do some open, just Q&A kind of vibe about, once y'all know how deep it can get on this side. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to make sure. I just wanted to put it out there, let you all know what the plan is, and we can see. Now I'll probably just go live in a second over on the usual side. But you know what I'm thinking about? Let me just ask y'all. I'm gonna put this in my community tab. I'm thinking about just changing my channel name to LuuLuu and just being done with it, because Agent Gorgeously is kind of like, kind of long to say, don't you think? Maybe it should just be LuuLuu. Like Tati. I'm setting up for my beauty guru status. I kid myself. I slay myself with my jokes sometimes. Yeah, make it just easy, because that's who I am, LuuLuu. Will you still be the doorknobs? Yes, we can. You're still gorgeous. We're just gonna be the gorgeous LuuLuu. You're gonna be the door. We still be the gorgeous doorknobs, though. The gorgeous doorknobs don't go anywhere. That is a part of life. My original title. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it up there for a while. I'll do a community thing and see how people think about it. Oh, and here, no, on that side I won't do it. Because I have students that have found my channel. So I cannot put it on that side, Veronica, because I know the young people have found that channel, and I'm not gonna have that. No, no, and for monetization purposes, it's better for me to have this separate from that. Um, because it can affect my monetization. So, this type of content. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah. That's why I had to. Yeah, I had to keep them separate, because this I'm okay with, because this I'm not even, the goal isn't to get this one monetized. There's not, I don't care about that stuff. It's not the goal for this channel. So therefore, there's a certain freedom on this channel, so I can speak on these things, and it's okay. If this channel grows, it'll just grow organically with absolutely no help. There will be no tagging. There will be nothing on here. It will just be the title, maybe some in the description, and that's it. So I won't be treating this channel as a business. This is part of my passion, and so I just don't want to lose sight of that, because I don't want it to just seem that I'm just about, oh, she's just about makeup and skincare and things. No, there are other subject matter that I'm very much into, but I know that it's not appropriate for that particular channel. Everything else I don't mind putting on there, about goddesses, about, anything else, but this particular subject matter has to be kind of separate, because when I get into the conversations, they do get very graphic. They can become very detailed, and that's just not for that channel, you know. And so that, just have to do it like that. And by this being a channel that is not very populated, then that means that there's also, at this moment, I doubt if it will ever get populated, because like I said, I'm not tagging it, I'm not doing anything like that. So it's not like there's going to be anything out there for somebody to like really search for. you know just being honest, there's really not going to be anything for them to find. But those conversations, and then people need to feel comfortable, and some of the people who are on that channel are there strictly for beauty, and this will make them uncomfortable. So I would rather have this on a separate channel, where if you want to hear about it, you can. If you don't, then just stay over there. Stay over there. All right, y'all. So should I go live on Agent Gorgeously now and just have some like little conversation, or because I'm about to get off of this one, because this is just me letting you guys know exactly what this is going to be about. And so if anybody watches it in the replay, we'll see. I don't even expect anybody in the replay. Okay, give me a second so I can make a thumbnail. I don't know what we're gonna talk about though. What should we be talking about? What should we be talking about? Oh my God, have y'all seen Patty Page? I know she had her bypass, but damn, she done lost a lot of weight. That little face is hey Karen, you gonna have to watch the replay. I'm gonna go to the regular channel. Um and cause we didn't really talk about it. Baby, did you see her? She's lost a lot of weight, which is good because you avoid her. I like Petty. I like Petty Page. She makes me laugh. I haven't really been watching it though. Honestly, I haven't been watching any drama channels. When I told y'all I was getting off the drama channel train, I got off. Who's that? She's a drama channel. I think she's having a baby, but you should see her, baby. Karen, you should see her. Okay, I'm gonna pull her up. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna go to the other channel. Let me start. Let me start. Let me fix up a thumbnail, and I'll be back. Give me 5 minutes with a thumbnail and get some water. Yeah, with the pink wig. She's on right now. And don't she look good? That face is slim. The face is like, the face is snatched. The face is snatched. Okay, so let me get off of here because I get to. So apparently YouTube don't like me on this side either. You see what it's doing? It's just kicking me out. It's just kicking me out. So okay, YouTube, we see you. It's just not. I'm just not live. I'm not supposed to go live. Oh, let me stop doing that before I have 11s. Okay, I got to work on this, child. This is too much.